Hey guys, welcome back to the tutorial. Today I want to talk to you about mastering in Ableton. And if you remember last time we did a 2 minutes loop, or let me call it a mini track. And usually the process after you finish your track, you want to make the sound quality even better. And by applying some audio compression and limiting. And the process of doing that is called mastering. And for that you can do that using the software, using compressors and limiters inside the software itself, or if you don't want to master your music by yourself, you give your track to some recording studio, usually get paid per track, to master your music there. So as this course for beginners, I thought like I would give an introduction to mastering. This is a very complex topic in audio engineering, but if you want to do some basic mastering in your track using Ableton, I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, what you need to apply on your track after you finished. So first is compression. And what is compression? What does it do in the audio signal? Compression is a process of listening, with a double S, the dynamic range between the loudest and the quietest parts of an audio signal. So this is done, or compression is done, by boosting the quieter signals and attenuating the louder signals. Yeah. And limiter, which you apply after that, limiter actually is a type of compressor, but designed for a specific purpose, which is to limit the level of a signal to a certain threshold. So what would a limiter do is it will almost completely prevent any gain above that threshold which you will set. Yeah, you can imagine it as it will cut the signal. Yeah, I am very careful with using limiters and even compression as well, because this can ruin your original track. So mastering basically is a cherry on top. It's either will make your track sound really amazing, or ruin all the work you've done on your track. So one thing you should know is that less is more. So the less you do in mastering, the more you will gain actually. Yeah. You want your track to have dynamics in it, to breathe, not to put a lot of compressors and a lot of limiters and a lot of things which will completely ruin your original sound. And one other thing is that you should do to make the sound from the beginning sounds good, without the use of any processing after that, without the use for any compressors after that. Yeah. These are like the tips I will give you if you want to master your own music. Okay, so there is like 2 ways to do that. Since this is a beginner level, so after you recorded your track, you can actually do it like this. You add compressors and a limiter on your master channel, but this is very like quick and a quick way. But a more professional way is that you export each range, or each frequency range, into an audio file. Yeah, and after that work on these audio files separately. So the quick way first is that this is a master channel here, and we go to audio effects, and we can look for audio effect, audio effect rack, and we load it here to the master channel. And after that, look for compressor, double click, and a limiter. Yeah, and you drag and drop these here so that they are inside the audio effect track. Yeah. So first, before applying anything, let me play how the track sounded like, and it sounded like that. Okay, so now let's apply some audio compression. I would do that. You can play with these parameters, the ratio, attack, and release, but do not do too much of compression. So the way I would do, I would put release on O2 and increase the ratio a little bit to be, for example, 3:1. Yeah, and let's hear it, and go with the threshold a little bit to down to -10 dB. Yeah, and go without, increase the gain, the out a little bit more, and let's hear what difference it did. You noticed here that the compression was too much, so that a clipping happened in the audio signal, and this is a thing you want to avoid. Yeah. So one way to fix that is doing the following. You can decrease the sound volume of your whole track, so you control every single channel here, and you go down, let's say, with -2 more. Yeah, or let's say -4. And then let's play again. So you see what happened when we decreased the volume? There was no clipping anymore. Yeah. So this is just compression. And after that, you can apply limiter. I'm not a big fan of limiters. You can apply limiters so that you increase the volume of the whole track. Yeah. And I would, let's say, go down a little bit with this to -20. And increase the gain. So the track before compression and limiting sounds like that. And after okay, now you notice a little bit of a difference, right? This is a very basic way to do that using the Ableton tools. I personally do not work with compressors and limiters using Ableton, but using external plugin called Wave Shell. It's a very big plugin which has many different things, compressions, some stuff for vocal, only for vocals, for guitars. This is a very powerful tool. A lot of audio recording studios work with. Actually, audio engineers are working with this tool, and I recommend you take a look at this. And because it sounds pretty nice. So this, as I said, was the first way to do that, which is very quick and yeah, not really so accurate or so powerful in case of mastering. And the second way is that it has several steps, which will include that you need to export every single frequency range. So what you need to do is you need to export the low region or the low frequencies, the mid and the highs, separately into an audio file and load it into a new project, right? And after that, do the so-called multi-band mastering. And after that, you will need to do to load the multi-band dynamics into your track, into the audio effect track, and then you need, depending on the low, mid and high, you need to duplicate the chain into 3 parts and rename this into low, mid and high. And after that, you will need to map the high frequencies to the audio file which has high frequencies, let's say the hi-hats, and the low to the kick, and the mid to the mid bass, for example. Yeah. I will add I will add some notes for you inside the tutorial to show you exactly how to do that, because this takes a lot of time. Like it can take you a day or half a day just to do mastering. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this last tutorial, and thank you guys.